Well, the APC primary is scheduled to hold from the 15th of next month and will run down till the 23rd. Many already say it will definitely be a rank-of-free primaries, just as they've insisted it will be. Or are we going to have more intrigues and drama as the day unfolds? Well, anyway, it's a one we'll be waiting to see and one we'll be really keen to watch. But all I'll tell you, welcome to another great time watching television. It's Atlantic TV, Viewpoint it is, and as always, my name is Michael Gobadia. Well, anyway, you do know on Viewpoint is always interesting because we enjoy having that discussion, not just alone, but with our definitely resource persons, and most especially having our colleague here. And I'm talking of the other person for Patience Monday. Patience is a beautiful morning and one that will usher us into the weekend.
Good morning, Mr. Michael, and thank God it's Friday.
Well, anyway, I was expecting her to say so.
Well, it's still Viewpoint here on Atlantic TV, and you know Viewpoint, we'll begin with the dailies, then we'll move straight to dialogue, and then the news comes around. Do well to connect with us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram on Atlantic Media and TV. We'll go on this quick break. When we return, the dailies will be next.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Yes, the dailies definitely kickstart things right here on Viewpoint. And for review today, we have 7 papers. We have The Guardian, The Vanguard, The Punch, Daily Trust. Definitely we'll be having these days as much as we'll also be having Nigerian Tribune to follow. But anyway, you do know we always enjoy starting with The Punch. And let's see what The Punch has as a major one on its front page. And on The Punch this morning, the leading story reads, automatic tickets. Tinubu leaves lawmakers' fate in governor's hands. Wow. Well, anyway, remember we'll be looking at this critically later on dialogue. The riders to follow, President rejects APC senators' automatic tickets, request at Villa meeting, ruling party, governors get presidency not to spare state primaries. Well, ruling party shifts presidential governorship primaries to May 21st and May 23rd. But anyway, just read that story up on page 2. And let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of The Punch. Atiku, economists raise concern over Tinubu $516 million loan request. Remember that loan will be for Sokoto Badagry Expressway. And well, anyway, a huge sum it is then. But anyway, I'll just tell you to grab that copy of The Punch and read up on page 19. Let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of this Punch this morning. Wiretapping, El-Rufai pleads not guilty, face fresh charge on page 3. Federal government borrows 2.69 trillion from bond market in 3 months. Wow. The spate of borrowing is indeed high. But anyway, don't be discouraged. Get that story up on page 19. Court remand 4 suspects over play 2 mass killing. And that's on page 5. And funny enough, will be the picture of the day. They were arraigned yesterday. And well, anyway, speedy trial is what the judiciary is insisting on that. But anyway, that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper.
Let's check out stories making rounds on The Guardian this morning. And on The Guardian newspaper, the leading story reads, how Council's consensus candidacy erode internal democracy in parties. Well, you can get that big story on page 4 and 5 of The Guardian this morning. Still on the front page, Obi Bauchi government meets as Labour Party shuts door amid fears of PDP fielding candidates. Well, that very story is on page 3. Delayed special seats for women bill may undermine 2027 polls, reps warn. Still on page 3 of The Guardian, and ADC Atiku query new loans as Senate considers $506 million request for Sokoto Badagry project. Well, you can still get up that story still on page 3 of The Guardian. Still on the front page, let's see if we have more of the leading stories. Meter providers, manufacturers accuses discourse of extortion. Well, that very story on page 7, Migration Organization record 8,000 deaths, missing persons in 2025. Well, it's a very sad one and a huge number, and you can get up that details on page 7. The picture of the day is more like a screamer of the late story. Well, that is much you can.
Well, this day will be the next paper for us to look at this day. And on this day newspaper, let's see if we see or get the leading story right there. And the leading story of this day, Dangote plans Nigerian scale refinery in East Africa, seeks partnership with Ruto and Museveni. We do know Ruto is in Kenya, Museveni is in Uganda. And well, it looks as if Dangote is planning to have his refinery there. Just write us to follow. Set 4-year period for completion of project. Refinery exports 1.1 billion liters of aviation fuel to Europe. Leaders push for screamer on page 8. Federal government arraigns El-Rufai for alleged wiretapping. Rebuttals. But just get that story up on page 33. Imagine the NSA chairman phone is being tapped. Okay. Tinubu to governors. Our primaries must be hate-free to preserve APC unity cohesion. And the party issues reverse timetable, fixes presidential primary for May 25th and go back 23rd. And you can get more of that story up on page 9. But remember, I'll be looking at this later on Dialogue. Okay, let's see if we take some other leading stories. Okay, well, anyway, it's more of like the picture of the day. And it's Ogun East APC adopt governor Dapo Abiodun. Why would they not adopt him? And well, it's not for him being the governor, but rather for his 2027 senatorial election, his bid is now going to represent no other but Ogun West as a senator come the next dispensation. But anyway, that's the much we can take from this day today.
Still on dailies, let's check out stories making it to the headline on Nigerian Tribune. And on the Nigerian Tribune, the leading story reads, Tinubu seeks Senate approval for $506 million loan. And the riders to that very story to finance Sokoto-Badagry Super Highway. And the request must be thoroughly scrutinized, says Atiku. You can get more details on page 3. And still on the front page, 2027, rumblings in APC over aborted deal with lawmakers. And the riders to that, Tinubu wades in, meet governor. Well, you can find more details on page 6. DSS arraigns El-Rufai for allegedly intercepting NSA's phone conversation. Wow. Well, you can get more details on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see if we can get still more of the leading story.